Hey guys! Well, now that we have the hosting environment ready, we're gonna migrate the site using a plugin. We already have access to cPanel, where we just created the database, we wrote down the name of the database and the password. Anyway, we got all prepared. First of all, why use plugins? Lately, I've been preferring to use plugins to migrate WordPress sites because it's much faster. And so I always save a few more minutes of my day every time I need to perform this kind of task. The plugin that I'm going to show today is called Duplicator, and it works very well for sites that doesn't have too much content like the one we built during this course. And it's free, which is great. So let's get started. The process proposed by this plugin is as follows. First, we are going to install the plugin here on the local server. So let's go to Plugins, Add New, Duplicator. Okay, plugin installed and activated. Let's access the plugin's homepage by clicking on Duplicator. Packages, create new. Here I won't change anything. Next, I'll wait until it scans the website. Here in my case everything looks good. It means that I can make a backup without problems. You might see some items with the color red. If your site looks the same as mine, it probably won't show any items in red. But if in the future you see some messages in red, you should read it, understand the error, and head over to the plugin's help page to see how to fix it. Don't be lazy, guys. Read it and try to solve it before you ask me, okay? Well, I see I get a notice here, so let me see what it's all about. There are a couple of files that are too big to be imported. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna skip these files and then I will upload them manually later. So I need to click here to build a package despite the notice I'm getting here. If you get a notice, it's not a big problem, but if you have warnings or errors, then it will be impossible to build a package. So you need to read the documentation, okay? I'm gonna proceed by clicking on build. In the end, I will be given two files that I need to download. One is the installer, and the other contains the files that will be restored later. I prefer to download one at a time, so I'm gonna download both files. And I'll need to upload these files to the hosting server. I'm gonna access my cPanel once again. I can remove this file here. Upload the two generated files. Now I need to access this installer file. I'm gonna access my test domain. And at the end of the address, I'm gonna include the file name like this: /installer.php. Okay, ready. Now I have this main duplicator screen. It will validate both the files and the server. Well, I see I have some notices again. So let's see what they're telling me. So it seems I created the site with one version of PHP, which is higher than the one we have in the server. And we got this other PHP notice here. Here we got some suggestions to fix this error, this warning. First, let's try to fix the PHP warning message. Let's go back to the cPanel. Let's look for PHP. Here, select PHP version. So let's click here. Select a different version. and set this as the current version. Let's go back to the installer. And now I see I managed to fix all those warnings. The two of them, in fact. Great. I'm gonna click here on this checkbox. Let's wait a minute to extract all the files. Now, to continue the process, I'm gonna need a database, preferably an empty one. We have already created all that in the last lesson, so I'm gonna use it. Here under database, we type in the name of the database we just created. Under user, we pass the username we created. And here's for the password. The rest will remain unchanged, okay? Let's click here and test the database to see if everything is correct. Okay, pass. Next. Here, as our database is new and empty, we click on OK. Next again. Okay, now I can log on to the website using the same username and password I used before. Alright, this is the last step. It's saying here that all the installation files have been removed. In my case, I can remember now that my password is 1234, so it's not safe to use such a weak password outside of the local host. So I can head over to the users menu and change my password to a stronger one. And that's it. Now I should already have my website up and running in the production environment. Let's browse the site for some time. Perfect, everything's working. Great. A few observations before finishing this lesson. There are other plugins you can use to migrate a site. For example, one that I use a lot is called WP Clone. It's just a little more complicated to use, but it works pretty well too. And if you're not lucky with plugins, you can try to perform a manual migration. I'll leave a link of a tutorial that I always use to migrate sites manually and when it's needed. And guys, I hope it will be useful for you too. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the lessons. Actually, I hope you enjoyed the whole experience you've gained within this course. I did my best to make all the lessons clear, simple, and easy to understand. Now it's your turn to make your own themes and increase the knowledge you already have. If you have any questions about the content of the lessons, I'm always available, right? I wish you much success, and I see you in the next time. Bye!